A photo can capture any moment in a fraction of a second. It gives us the chance to see things we would have missed if we blinked, and sometimes we just see things in a new perspective. This is how we end up with hilarious pictures that will last forever. Are you ready to see the results? Wait until you see the woman who seems to be playing with a miniature human at the beach. If this is your first time visiting our channel, don't forget to subscribe and please give this video a big thumbs up. Today we're showing you 20 photos that were perfectly timed. The stork bird. Did your parents ever tell you that storks delivered babies when you were a kid? This theory never made sense, even though we would never dare to question them. But now they can show you the proof that they were right. Look at this baby falling from the sky in the arms of his father. We thought that this bird's delivery would be a little smoother. Most of us thought about finding a baby at our doorstep and not randomly catching one when we didn't expect it. But it seems like we were all really lucky to have the best father to catch us. The super eagle. Do you know why the national animal of the United States is the bald eagle? No? It is not because Americans are losing their hair. It is because of its long life, great strength, and majestic look. If you want to see how powerful the bald eagle is, just take a look at this picture. It appears to fly so fast that it leaves a white trail behind it, just like an airplane. And eagles truly are incredibly skilled. With a wingspan of 6 to 8 feet, they can dive at up to 100 miles per hour. But this bird's greatest power is certainly its freedom and liberty in the sky. We couldn't think of a better animal to represent the United States of America than the king of the birds. The tall giraffe. This animal is known for its really long neck, but do you know how tall it can be? If you take a look at this picture, you could believe that this giraffe is tall enough to touch a plane. We bet the people in the plane were surprised by the view when they looked out the window. We just hope that the animal didn't cause the plane to crash. It would be hard for the pilot to explain this story. But let's be serious. Even if it doesn't touch the sky, the giraffe is still the tallest land animal alive. It can be up to 18 feet tall. The jumping dog. We all know that looking at a cute dog can make our day. No matter what they do, they will always find a way to make us smile even if we're having a bad day. And when we think that we have seen everything, this dog is here to surprise us. Just look at this strange creature. Is it a mop with eyes? Or maybe it's a dog with no legs. What you are looking at is a dog breed called the Puli. It is easily recognizable by its long, corded coat similar to dreadlocks. But what we love the most about this unique dog is it seems to have so much fun jumping. The hidden cat. Cats love to play, and they are so fun to watch, but this time you won't be able to see the feline. It is playing hide and seek. Can you see it? Yes, this game was easier than we would have thought. We have to admit, this cat didn't find the best place to hide. With the picture on the frame, it looks like we can see the whole animal, but this cat had a good plan. He tried to escape in the two-dimensional world. Unfortunately, it forgot its tail outside this parallel universe, and its owner easily found it. Is there any weird place where your cat likes to hide? Don't forget to tell us in the comments. We would love to hear from you. The cyclist. We all smile when we look at pictures of the countries we've visited, but this tourist can make anyone laugh by showing them this funny picture. While this man was posing in front of the Vienna State Opera, a cyclist came out of nowhere to photobomb his picture. Actually, we could guess he probably didn't mean to do this if we take a look at this photo. He just drove his bike straight into the pole. The tourist didn't even realize what was happening while he was posing. We just hope that the cyclist was okay after that incident and that he had the chance to see this photo online. Laughter is the best medicine, after all. The falling lady. You remember the time when your parents asked you not to run or stay too close to the pool? There was a reason for that, and this woman learned it the hard way. Once again, a man who was just trying to casually pose for a photo when a woman in the background stole the show. She was just about to fall into the pool with her clothes on. But the funniest thing about this picture is that neither the man, the woman, or her friends realized it when this picture was taken. She was just at a weird angle and not ready for what was going to happen less than a second after. The breakdance. Jesus used to turn water into wine and walk on water thousands of years ago, but now that we're in the 21st century, he found another way to impress his disciples. The Christ is now breakdancing on the water. Just look at this man showing off his skills on a lake. We bet that his father is watching these impressive dance moves from the sky. But there's one thing we are thinking about. Why isn't he sharing a message of love even though he has secretly been on Earth for so many years? Let's give him a break. The Son of God can take some time to have fun too. The perfect selfie. We all love taking pictures of ourselves, but some people wanted to take it to the next level. They didn't want to be admired for their looks, but for their sweet skills. This is why the new trend is now taking a selfie while high-fiving yourself. How is that even possible? Just take a look at those who already succeeded to see how it works. You need to use the timer, drop your phone at the right moment, and clap your hands as fast as possible. Many people tried it and hilariously failed. But this is what makes this picture even more perfectly timed. The last drink. We know that alcohol is bad for our health, but most of us drink anyway. However, this time the universe wanted to protect two friends by making sure they wouldn't be able to take a sip of their beer. Just look at what happened. The man's glass broke into pieces and the beer spilled everywhere. This poor woman was probably so disgusted that she went straight to the bathroom and didn't want to drink her beer when she came back. At least, what could have been a disastrous dinner turned out to be an incredible story to tell with this picture. The smallest soldiers. Things that are far away from us look so small compared to what is right next to us, and when we mix the two together, we get incredible results. This soldier had one great idea in mind when he took this picture. He made sure he was perfectly timed when other soldiers came off the helicopter. From this perspective, it looks like they are falling directly into his mouth. Or maybe this is a new tactic to get rid of his enemies, by eating them. The flying president. Have you ever heard about the theory that Barack Obama is not American? Some people believe that he was born in Kenya, so he was not eligible to be president of the United States. And even though Obama published his birth certificate, it wasn't enough to make them stop. But now we know that Obama is not American. He comes from an Arabian country. Just look at him flying on a magic carpet, just like Aladdin did. When we take a closer look at this picture, we understand that there is simply a shadow on the ground next to the carpet. But it is still fun to imagine that being the President of the United States comes with the ability to fly. The highest jump. How high can you jump? Most people can't jump higher than a few inches above the ground. This is why you will be impressed to see that this man can do a front flip over a plane. We have the photo to prove it. Okay, he might not be able to jump 100 feet above the ground, but do you know how high a man can jump? The world record for the highest jump without using any kind of assistance is more than 8 feet high. This person would be able to jump over another human being. Even though this is probably not what happened in this perfectly timed picture, we can still be impressed by his awesome skills. The giant seagull. We have heard about giant gorillas like King Kong and giant monsters like Godzilla invading the city, but who thought that we would one day have to face enormous seagulls? You can see one of these specimens in this picture. A man was walking right next to it and he didn't even seem to notice what was happening. Or maybe he was simply paralyzed by fear. At least these birds don't seem too dangerous. They might want to steal our French fries, but that is not the worst thing that could happen. We are ready for the day that giant seagulls will take over the world. The tiny woman. The beach is one of the best places to go to have fun with our friends. We love to swim, make sandcastles, or simply relax and sunbathe. Everyone can do any activity they like, even when they're tiny human beings. Just look at this woman playing with her friend. By looking at this picture, we might think that this beachgoer is helping her tiny friend jump in the air. Or maybe the woman sitting on the beach is a giant, and the one who's jumping is as tall as we are. We have to think about it for a second to understand that they are actually really far away from each other. And even if they are giant, tiny, or simply normal, we love to see friends having fun on the beach. The runner. Winning a race is difficult. You're competing with great runners and sometimes milliseconds make all the difference. But this man thought that this competition was not hard enough for him. This is why he decided to run on his hands. Unfortunately, the other runners weren't interested in this idea and decided to stand on their feet. But no matter what, we can admire the courage of the runner who is now upside down in this picture. Even though he probably didn't mean to be in this position right now, he got back up on his feet and never gave up. The figure skater. Figure skaters always impress us with their acrobatic moves. We keep falling when we're standing on our 2 feet on the ground. We can't even imagine what it would be like to do these acrobatic moves while standing on 1 foot on ice. But this time, these athletes surprised us in the weirdest way. A woman coming out of a man's bottom is not something we expected to see at this competition. This real move they were trying to do is probably gorgeous, but when we look at it from this point of view, we can't help but laugh. These two figure skaters at least deserve a medal for their creativity. The swimmer. We are so captivated by the speed of these swimmers that we don't even pay attention to what they look like. But when we take the time to capture this moment, we're fascinated by these pictures. This is Olympic swimmer Tyler Clary just before he breaks out of the water. And he is not the only backstroker who looks like that when he's emerging from the water. With all this tension on the surface, it looks like they're back in the womb. We just hope that they still had time to breathe and win that competition. And the photographer deserves a medal too. The headless player. We are always impressed by football players' strength. You have to be tough to play that kind of a sport, and also have the right equipment to protect yourself. But now we understand the real reason why these athletes wear a helmet. It is not to protect their head, it is to make sure it stays on their shoulder. Just look at what happened when this player fell. He didn't only lose his helmet, but his head came off too. We know there's a head hiding somewhere on this man's body, but we just can't see it. Or maybe he's just a turtle, hiding his head in his shell when he's afraid. We would understand him. Football is a dangerous sport. The gymnast. We are always impressed by gymnasts. Their bodies are so flexible that they seem to be made of rubber. They are stronger than anyone else we know, and we admire their courage they have to do backflips. But what surprised us the most was to see that a woman was able to do this even if she had a foot on her shoulder. It is difficult to see and to find balance when you don't have a head. But this young woman became a gymnast anyway. We know there's a head somewhere on this woman's shoulder, but we are still impressed to see that she is so flexible that we don't even see her head when she bends over backwards. And that's it for 20 photos that were perfectly timed. Did any of them make you smile? If so, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. And if you just can't get enough of these photos, make sure you watch 10 pictures taken at the perfect moment. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.